Looking for something fun to watch? The KJ Today Show has you covered. We're bringing Hollywood to Indianapolis and positive vibes to our community. It's pop culture, people to know, and pets. Watch it happen live Wednesdays at 7 on YouTube or catch up on demand. Hi, welcome to the KJ Today Show. Happy Halloween. I am so excited that you are here with me tonight for this very special Halloween special. Producer Jana is at home handing out candy with her new kitty, Captain Socks. Patches is downstairs making dinner, and I'm here to hang out with you and some fabulous guests. Who better to have on our show for Halloween than Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, and talking spirits, coming up with Long Island medium Theresa Caputo. If this is your first time joining the KJ Today Show, we're usually on Wednesday nights, and we got a fun cast, and we bring some celebrities on, and we bring you the positive vibes of pop culture, people to know, and pets. And before we get to Elvira and Theresa Caputo, I have to say thank you so much. This weekend was amazing. We were at the Irvington Halloween Festival here in Indianapolis, and so many people came out and got my book, which is just absolutely incredible. This is a joy for me. As a matter of fact, let's get comments going, right? With some good news. Tell me who you are. Tell me what your crew number is. If you don't have a crew number yet, sign up for the Positive Vibes newsletter at kjcrew.com to get your newsletter and to get your crew number. And let me tell you something good. My book, Raised by Cats Behind the Mic and the Meows, is a #1 release on Amazon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The less than good news is that for some reason, and I wish that I was some big, amazing author that could say, Amazon, you need to fix this. But I'm just a little girl who put out her first book. The pre-orders got delayed. So I do have some good news for you. If you were expecting to get your book on National Cat Day on October and you ordered it from Amazon and it didn't come, it is, well, you can wait. And you can get it sometime November, December. I don't know when. But if you don't want to wait, I went ahead and I've got some actual copies now. So here it is. This is the book. And you can order it through my website, kjtodayshow.com, and you can actually get a signed copy, and I will put it in an envelope. I will address it to you. When you open up the book, you see there's the first super cute page, which says Raised by Cats. And on the next page, I will sign it to you, and then you can start reading it. So go to kjtodayshow.com, and you can order that book. And if you were on Amazon, it doesn't cost you anything to cancel that pre-order and then head over to kjtodayshow.com and not only get the book, but get it signed. I'll personalize it for you. So thank you to everybody who has made this such an incredible few days with the book coming out. I appreciate it so much. And if you haven't got the book yet, kjtodayshow.com. Now we're going to have Theresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, coming up, talking about her experiences with spirits, a great way to spend Halloween. But I had the honor of chatting with Elvira, which was so amazing. And we'll get to that first. I do want to thank our sponsors, PopCon and Indie Holistic Hub, and also the Skyline Club. The Skyline Club is doing something really cool for us on November 19th. Raise the roof at the Skyline Club. Hang around this evening for more information about that. But right now, I just want you to save that date, November 19th. And remember that we will be back at our regular time on Wednesday nights with Tom Felton. He is Draco from Harry Potter. And he's got a book out. I've got a book out. He's got a book out. And when we get back to Wednesday nights, Tom will be with us. Our next Wednesday show, not this Wednesday, but Wednesday, November 9th. Don't miss Tom Felton on the KJ Today Show. All right. Let me know in the comments what you got going for your Halloween, whether you're watching this on demand because you took the kiddos out for trick-or-treating, or you're watching this live and it is a part of your Halloween. Thank you for letting me be a little part of what you've got going on to celebrate Halloween. And let's start right off with Elvira. Her name is Cassandra Peterson. If you didn't know that, that's her real name. She has had an amazing career and amazing stories. And her book, it came out last year, but she just released it now as a paperback, added a bunch more images, some more stories. And I went right to you to find out what stories you wanted to hear on Halloween from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. The first question I got was from Kay, who is self-proclaimed Elvis's biggest fan. Her husband, Dan, is self-proclaimed Elvira's biggest fan. And so they wanted to know about her time with Elvis. She said, my husband is the biggest fan of Elvira, and I'm the biggest fan of Elvis. And I heard he had a big impact on her life. Could you please ask her to talk about that?
Yeah, he did. He changed my life completely. I was a showgirl in Las Vegas at the Dunes Hotel when I was 17 years old. I believe I was the youngest showgirl in Vegas, certainly at that time. And I was lucky enough to meet Elvis, who I was a huge fan of Elvis. So he came and saw my show. He invited me and some of the other girls back to his hotel for a party. There were many people there. It wasn't that kind of party. It was like a real party. And I ended up talking to Elvis, and people dwindled away during the evening, and I ended up staying there with him and just talking. And unfortunately, as people always ask me, why didn't anything happen? Remember, I was 17 years old, underage. Hello. But anyway, besides that, he couldn't have been sweeter and kinder. And he gave me this advice that I should get the heck out of Vegas. He said it wasn't a good place for a young girl. I felt like I'd accomplished my goal in life, becoming a showgirl, which I'd always wanted to be, because of his movie, Viva Las Vegas, actually. But he said, you really need to leave here. He sat down at the piano, and he and I sang together. And he said, you have a very nice voice. Why don't you get some singing lessons and think about, singing as a career instead? I was very dubious about that, but it was coming from Elvis Presley. So I took his advice. I got singing lessons. I became a singer, and I left Vegas. And I always say I was the youngest showgirl in Las Vegas history at 17. If it wasn't for Elvis, I would probably be the oldest Las Vegas showgirl right now at 71. The numbers just switched.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, she was like, I made it. I'm good. I'm a showgirl. By the way, I was fangirling so much. Like, Elvira, are you kidding me? And still going strong and just like doing whatever she wants, right? Like just getting things done. I had to, really ask, like, was it really that conversation? Like your whole life changed from a night. I mean, a night with Elvis, your life is going to change anyway, right? But her entire trajectory of her career. Was it that conversation with Elvis that opened you up to, I can sing, I can act, I can dance. Like I can do anything, because that's what, for girls like me who have grown up with you, I feel like that's what you've done, right? You're like, if I want to do something, I just go do it.
Pretty much. I was kind of having this conversation with somebody yesterday, and I just said, you know, when you're young, that's the time to try out everything. I knew I wanted to be in show business of some sort, but I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do in show business. So I tried out being in a band. I tried out being a dancer. I tried out later in LA acting, and finally settled on comedy improv acting. And that is really how I got Elvira, is that I was in a group called the Groundlings Comedy Improv Group in LA, who tons and tons of actors have come out of there. Phil Hartman, Paul Rubens, who plays Pee-wee, more recently Will Ferrell and Mary McCarthy. So many people that everybody you see on Saturday Night Live practically came out of the Groundlings. So yeah, it was. I suggest to anybody, try things out, see what hits, see what makes you feel good, and that was kind of the way the way I got to where I got.
I really love how inspirational she is. And I didn't want to, like, talk too much about, tell me about all the celebrities you've hung out with, because she's the celebrity we want to know about. But her book is incredible. She talks about how Brad Pitt like rang her doorbell one day, wanted to buy her house. But can you imagine if Brad Pitt just like rang your doorbell? Brad, if you want to buy my house, I'll totally sell you my house. Come on in. We're going to need a place for me and the cats and Patches to stay. But in the meantime, if you want to ring the doorbell, you're welcome. One of the really cool questions that we got from you, and thank you so much. Like I said, whenever I do these interviews, I want to turn it over to you. I want to ask the things you want to know. One of the longtime followers on my Facebook page, facebook.com/KJ Today Show, talked about how she always dresses up as Elvira. And now her daughter is being inspired as well. I have dressed as Elvira every year for as long as I can remember on Halloween. And this year, my 9-year-old daughter said she wanted to as well. What does it mean to Cassandra to know that she continues to inspire young women?
Oh, that's a sweet question. I love that. It's my favorite thing about being Elvira is inspiring people, whether they're women or men, whoever. There are a lot of guys. I have a very large gay following, and I hear from a lot of gay men that I was inspirational also. But with women in particular, it really, really makes me happy to hear that. I meet fans and women and girls come up to me and say, when I was young, I felt like I didn't fit in. I wasn't I didn't look the way I was supposed to look. Wasn't as pretty as I wanted to be, this and that. And I said, watching your movie, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, gave me the confidence to overcome that and be who I am. And I just love to hear those stories. They're very emotional for me sometimes, but it's such a bizarre character that, it's hard to believe that it would inspire people, but apparently it does.
She's still humble after all of these years, and again, incredibly inspirational. And how cool that we got to hang out a little bit with Elvira on Halloween. She actually told me that this is her first Halloween where she is not dressed as Elvira. Like right now, she's heading out to a Halloween party, and she doesn't have to dress as Elvira. Like she's just going to a friend's house. Absolutely amazing. I will have the entire interview because we spent a lot of time together. I will have that up for you. Just follow me on youtube.com/KJ Today. Usually Patches is here with me and he flashes up those graphics for you. But youtube.com/KJ Today. And you can click on the celebrity interviews playlist and catch up on a lot of the full length celebrity interviews that we don't always get to here on the KJ Today show. Coming up, Theresa Caputo, the Long Island medium. What a fun way to spend the very first annual KJ Today show, Halloween special. Thank you for spending a little time with me. Reminder, this Wednesday, I actually am doing my book launch party. So this is like the media party thing. I don't know. I got myself into so much. I didn't know what life as an author was going to be. But there's a media party on Wednesday night. So we will not be doing our regular show Wednesday, which is why I'm so glad I got Elvira and Theresa Caputo to come with us and be here on Halloween. If you want to get the book, My Story with Cats Can Change Your Story with Cats, it is an Amazon #1 new release, and I apologize for those who are waiting. Amazon is delayed in shipping, but you can pick that book up at Hampton Design Studio and shop. If you want to shop local, which I love, you can get it at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and just added, you can get it on my website, kjtodayshow.com, where you can get a personalized signed copy. So if you did order it on Amazon, I apologize for the delay. I don't know what's going on there, but you can hit that pre-order cancel button and then head over to kjtodayshow.com, and I will sign this book and ship it out to you personally. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. I didn't know what life as an author would be, and it's super weird to have this book in my hands and to know that it's in your hands too now, or hopefully will be soon. Thank you for being a little part of my life. All right, our Halloween special continues, switching from, Elvira and the horror genre into actually communicating with spirits. You can see Paranormal Crossroad on RTV now, WRTV. It's part of the late night lineup on Fridays. We're so honored to have season 1 getting out to more people again. So make sure on Friday nights, switch on WRTV and catch Paranormal Crossroad. But let's talk to, one of the most well-known people talking to spirits and getting it real. Her name is Theresa Caputo, and she is best known as the Long Island medium. As I do with my interviews, I turn it over to your questions. And I loved this question. Carrie, thank you very much for asking. She wanted to know, if Theresa has so much confidence in what she does. And if you've ever attended one of her events, which I have, she just lets it flow, right? And so Carrie asked, was there ever a point for you, Theresa, where it was scary, where you didn't understand what was happening to you when you realized you had this gift?
Scary. I didn't understand what was going on. And there are still times to this day where I might have an energy that might stay with me. And I might have to work a little bit harder to kind of release that energy, So for me, I don't want anything negative. I'm afraid of all that paranormal stuff, because those things are real and they might be lower energies, but I don't want them attached to me, and that was one of the things that I struggled with my gift because, I am a practicing Catholic and I come from a very strong faith family, and I couldn't understand why I was chosen to have this gift. And I said, if this is my soul's journey, if this was God's plan for me, then I want to use my gift for healing. And I want to use it to be able to help people move on after the loss of a loved one. And I never really thought about that until I embraced my gift, on how people don't know how to go on for whatever reason after the loss of a loved one. And to give someone that peace and that faith, God, is so special.
And Gail wanted us to get into some of those experiences. I mean, Theresa is constantly talking with people, constantly connecting them with spirits. Of course, what would be for Theresa, who's doing this all the time, one of her most memorable moments?
Every single reading, KJ, sticks with me. And it's special because it heals someone. Are there crazy things and validations that happen? Yes. that stick out? I mean, is it the is it the police officer? He was the detective that was in the audience 2 weeks ago, and someone that was murdered came through and thanked him for trying to bring justice to his death. I mean, this man was completely like, how do you know these things? Like, there's no way you would know these things. And give healing because he felt that he did not serve justice to this boy. Or is it the young man that was driving a car one night when all of their friends decided to get into a car and everyone passed but him? And to have the soul come forward and to say, we don't blame you. We made all decisions that night to get in that car. The accident was not your fault. Could you imagine the healing for that young man? And that's the thing that I don't think people realize. You know, we listen to these healing messages and we think how beautiful and healing they are, but they are a million times more healing to the person that Spirit is speaking to than you can ever imagine.
And thank you very much, Gail, for your question for Theresa. It is a good question, you know, like, does it get older? You're just like, oh, yeah, I talk to spirits. It's no big deal. To be in the room with you, not only do you bring these spirits through and bring amazing stories and healing to people, but I think just being in the room with you helps us all realize that we can talk about this and it's not scary, and it is normal. Most of us have had some strange experience that we can't explain, and you are the one who's making us feel like, okay, yeah, that was my mom, that was my grandma, that was real. Does it ever get old for you, Theresa?
First, I want to say, like, I believe that's also what I want people to know that night, is that all those things that go on around you that you think that are weird or odd or a coincidence or just maybe remind you of your loved one that has died, know that that's them. That is their soul letting you know that they are with you at that exact moment. And KJ, every time I get out on that stage, I say, what is Spirit going to have me say or do tonight that is going to be so crazy, off the wall? And every night there is something where I sit back and I'm like, how in God's name would I know that? How did I get to say that to that person? Like, this is crazy. Still, after 2 decades of doing what I do, I am still dumbfounded and jaw dropped, open to the floor of like, I can't believe what just happened tonight. So it doesn't get old.
I had a question come in since this is a Halloween special. Are we going to get end credits, KJ? Yes, we are. Thanks for asking, Danielle. I worked on the end credits. You got an open, you got a close. I promise. It's a you know, as much of a regular show as we can make it. It's just me here tonight. I appreciate you being here. Oh, I want to show you my shirt. It's, you know, it's not Halloweeny, but it's the kind of Patches got me this shirt. Let me move my microphone. Check it out. Pause. Oh man, thank you very much, Patches. He's down getting dinner ready and keeping the cats calm because Halloween is stressful for pets, right? I don't have a pet of the week, but we'll get back to that next week. But yeah, keep an eye on your pets because having the doorbell ring and just having like other people walking through your neighborhood can be quite the stressful evening for your pets. I hope this has been a relaxing, fun way for you to spend Halloween. Thank you to Elvira, of course, Cassandra Peterson. Thank you to Theresa Caputo. If you ever have a chance to go to one of her shows, she's touring. I had a chance to talk to her because she was just here doing some shows, not in Indianapolis, but she was like in Bloomington and Fort Wayne. And there was like one more place, maybe South Bend. But it's a really, really cool evening. So thank you to our guests. Thank you to you. As always, this show is nothing without you. Please tell your friends about it. Keep sharing the word. Keep liking, commenting. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, that is a super great way to help grow the show. And thank you again to everybody who is just making this experience of becoming an author so special. I love you so much. Thank you. We will see you 1 week from Wednesday, November 9th, where we have our very special guest. As a Harry Potter fan, I mean, oh my gosh, to be able to talk with Tom Felton absolutely amazing. And I am so excited. Draco Malfoy will be joining us when we return to our regular night and time, Wednesday, November 19th. Oh, let me hit the button again and just remind you, Tom Felton, his book is called Beyond the Wand, and it is also out. So been talking to all these people with books out, Elvira, Tom Felton, and me. Thank you for joining me. Happy Halloween. Thank you very much to Indie Holistic Hub for being a part of powering the positive vibes here. Wellbeing Fest is coming up on November 13th. That will be the next place that I will be with my book, and I will also be there with the minivan mogul, who is amazing. Alex Perry is the keynote speaker for Holistic Hub's Wellbeing Fest, which is happening on Sunday, November 13th. Remember, if you want to go, buy one, get one at indieholistichub.com using the promo code KJShow2022. And as always, thanks to everyone who joined us on the PopCon Network. The KJ Today Show is powered by PopCon, and we have some exciting announcements coming from PopCon very soon. Even though PopCon isn't back at the Indiana Convention Center until next August, things are about to get very, very exciting. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to join me for Raise the Roof at the Skyline Club for Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary, hang on. Right after our favorite, the end credits, you'll also get all the information you need to know on how to be at the Charity Classic with me at the Skyline Club on November 19th. Happy Halloween! You're invited to the Skyline Club for an evening benefiting Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary and the Invited Employee Care Foundation. The annual charity classic at the Skyline Club is raising the roof this year with music, auctions, and a beautiful 4-course dinner featuring creations from a variety of chefs around Indy that you won't want to miss. Reserve your spot now for this special evening featuring MC Patty Spittler from Pet Pals TV. Call 317-263-5011 or go to gratefulrescue.org.